Hey there. I have a quick question to ask you, the viewer. What would you say if I told you that major news outlets, which are regarded as the leaders in the world in the field of journalism, are broadcasting misinformation on a mass scale to the general public of the world? Would you agree with that statement? Or would you say that that's an exaggeration and that I'm a conspiracy theorist? If you're from the first category, then you may want to keep watching because this is evidence for your belief. And if you think that that's not correct, you also may want to keep watching because you may change your opinion. So this morning I was browsing the news headlines and I saw a headline which really stood out. It says, Twitter, Saudi Arabia's top cleric says, will damn your soul. And so this is from the Huffington Post by Miss Betsy Isaacson. Right, and just reading here the initial, the introduction. On May 15th, Abdulatif Abdulaziz Al Sheikh, the most senior religious authority in Saudi Arabia, declared that Saudi citizens who use Twitter are risking damnation, according to a report from the BBC. A Saudi who tweets has lost his world and his afterlife. Now, for someone like me who's been living in Saudi Arabia for 3 years, I have a good grasp on the Arabic language, and I'm familiar with the religious culture and the religious authority in Saudi Arabia. It was clear immediately that this is pretty much crap. And just to show the viewer how and why that is so, first here, let's take a look at the person Abdulatif Abdulaziz Al Sheikh by taking a quick look at his Wikipedia site. He is actually the leader of the Organization for Commanding the Good and Forbidding the Evil, which is the name of the religious police in Saudi Arabia. So the first point here is wrong, claiming that it's Saudi Arabia's top cleric. Okay, this is not the top cleric, this is the leader of the religious police. In any case, I'm not saying that the Huffington Post is, a major, relied upon news source, but let's see, they claim that it's taken from the BBC. So we go to the BBC news website, and we look at their headline, Saudi religious police boss condemns Twitter users. Okay, so they're a little bit closer here when they give the correct post for the Mr. Abdulatif. So let's see what they say here. The head of Saudi Arabia's religious police has warned citizens against using Twitter, which is rising in popularity among Saudis. Sheikh Abdulatif Abdulaziz Al Sheikh said anyone using social media sites, and especially Twitter, has lost this world and his afterlife. Now, I noticed that this is a very extreme statement, saying that anyone using social media sites has lost everything. This world, the next life, that encompasses everything. So, just to get more clarification here, I went to the BBC Arabic site, which actually holds the same story, but in quoting the Sheikh's words, I find that there's a difference, it's the difference between the East and the West. They say here in Arabic, واعتبر الشيخ أن الذي يجعل تويتر دليلا له خسر الدنيا والآخرة. So let's just take this, what's between the quotes here, and put it in Google Translate for those of you who don't understand Arabic. So whoever makes Twitter a guide for him, this Arabic word is dalil, right, which means a guide or evidence or proof, okay, to make a decision. Whoever makes Twitter an evidence for himself or a guide for himself has lost the world and the hereafter. So I saw that this omission here and this difference here, okay, the English website is saying that whoever uses Twitter has lost his world and his afterlife. And the Arabic website is quoting the Sheikh saying that whoever makes Twitter his evidence and his guide for making decisions has lost the world and the hereafter. Uh, so there's a huge difference between the two statements. Okay, one is very extreme. It's claiming that you cannot exist in the modern world and in modern forums of discussion and be a successful person. And the other one is saying it's telling you to be critical and to not use hearsay as your guide in life and your way of making decisions, right? So this is just apparently is a huge discrepancy here. And of course, other websites picked it up, like NPR, their morning edition. Here they said that the head of the religious police says any social media user, right? Social media, covers Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff, will lose the afterlife. NPR, and you see their title here. I guess they tried to be a little, they claim to be in the middle, so they said some leaders in Saudi Arabia condemn Twitter, although the content is just as bad as the BBC English site. Also, MSN Now, Saudi religious police leader says Twitter will send you to hell. For instance, he was recently quoted as saying that Muslims who use Twitter or any social media have lost this world in the afterlife. Right? So this is a blatant misquote, misquotation, which has huge implications for how people view Saudis and even Muslims in general. Actually, if you take a look here at some Twitter websites, you see that all of the major scholars of Saudi Arabia, past and present, have Twitter websites. Their students are using Twitter actively to spread their sayings and their teachings. This is Ibn Uthaymeen, who passed away not too long ago. This is the side of Ibn Baz. He was the former mufti, the former head scholar of the country, who passed away as well. This is the website of Salih Fawzan, who is currently one of the biggest scholars in the country. He's still alive, and his students have made this website for him, spreading his sayings. So something to think about. Something to think about when you read news stories, and you just brings up some questions about integrity. And are our major news conglomerates here to inform us or to indoctrinate us? So that's a decision for you to make. Anyway, until next time, have a good one.